Shields are up. Our weapons are about to be hot. We'll be underway very soon, folks.
Here we go. Can we see Complexity get an early lead and get those two strongholds that they can then capture and hold on to and maybe show a little bit of control? Or are we going to see Shopify Rebellion out of the blocks fast and showing how to kind of bounce between these three strongholds? Certainly, beginning will show Complexity have got hold of two.
The two you typically want is A and B. C is a little bit more difficult to try and get that triple cap. The strongest two, the easiest to hold, is A and B. That will be the ones these two teams will try and prioritize. And with two members of Complexity going down now, A and B are now in control of Rebellion.
And there's that sniper rifle, and we're going to get to witness just how influential it can be on this map. The angles you take, the positions you can find, can change the game here, even if you're just tagging bodies, but Royal 2 does confirm one kill.
One kill, one body shot connects. Mental then perhaps able to pick up remnants of a sniper rifle there.
Spawn there, by the way. Just curious. Looked like he might have.
Interesting spawns aside. Mental, as however fortunate he may be, Complexity flipped the script. They now control A and B and they start to score. Good response from them. I'm not trying to let Shopify Rebellion build too much of a lead and too much momentum.
And whilst I may have spoken about a couple of players from Shopify Rebellion when it comes to the sniper rifle, don't forget that plenty of players on Complexity can do that as well, as 4 do go down on the side of Complex, and now Shopify Rebellion looking to go for the trip cap, and this is where it could get ugly. Spawns can be quite difficult, and especially if you get put into a situation where you're on a little bit of a staggered spawn, but Complexity do break out well here.
First time I've ever heard Complexity abbreviated to Complex, and I like it.
Yeah, I couldn't be bothered to say the whole org, and I do apologise to Complexity.
We're not paid by the word over here, Dan.
That's true. I'm not paid by Complexity.
Not paid by the letters. A and B, again in control of Rebellion. Engagement's going down, cycle will fall. The 3 members of Complexity will be traded out. It's a 2v1 on the map now. Cherished last man alive for his team, but unfortunately for him, he's going to have to just wait, try and stay alive. Just dropping towards B. Good to get one, but that's all.
Good aggression off spawn from Complexity each time. They're not taking too long to make a decision about which stronghold they want to go for. When you speak about a team being rigid or potentially being rigid, there's always that worry that they might be slow with their decision making, but that's absolutely not the case. Although Complexity do find themselves over 50 points behind here, they are at least trying to take the game to Shopify Rebellion and not allowing Rebellion to set up easily.
There's a Sanghili over my shoulder then. It's a very impressive set of armor. Very impressive gameplay from Royal 2. Currently sitting 7-2 and 4. Still some work to do though. 106 points in climbing, 3 dead again for Complexity, and it's just Rebellion starting to pull away now.
It's just the natural teamwork and chemistry that we're starting to see from Rebellion. Always backing each other up, not letting any man get left behind. Type of situation, this is a nice double out of last shot. Again, that last remaining player just coming up the ramp and almost catching the sniper rifle off guard yet again.
B looking to transfer for cycle. Controlled now by Shopify Rebellion. B and C. A being threatened as well. The collapse is coming. King Nick was in big trouble. No longer a part of the equation now. Rhino will step inside B just to turn the attention of Rebellion over towards that direction. But unfortunately for him, he falls along with his teammate Cherished. A lot of work to be done here, but Rebellion just seem to be doing whatever they want right now.
Just look how they move around the map, listening to the callouts of where those spawns are, and Complexity on the staggered spawn are literally spawning up, and they are dead within seconds because Rebellion are right in their face, and this is how you control Lattice. 3 strongholds in their favor, and Complexity, now they are starting to scramble. They are really struggling to get out of their positions.
It'll be so difficult to deal with the pace of play. You've got 4 guns this strong in the opposition. Complexity are struggling. Managed to take care of Cyclone Royal 2 though, so that will mean that the pressure is eased just a touch. They won't be under so much pressure. King Nick continues to jiggle fire, jumps out, soars out. Last shot though elsewhere will get that kill. So teamwork again. The bait and switch comes into effect, and now Shopify Rebellion will capture B again. A potential trip cap on the cards here, and this game is very quickly running out for Complexity.
Yeah, it would be a comeback of all comebacks if we were to see Complexity get back into this one. Shopify Rebellion, in my opinion, just far too experienced and far too good to allow that to happen. But there is a moment of hope. 4 dead on the side of Shopify. And now Complexity, it's the age-old cliche. They have to play some perfect Halo.
All out of errors, all out of mistakes. Has to be flawless from here on out. Cherish put down a little bit of damage, just a little bit of poke damage to opt to stay alive though. Re-engage at a different time, being shot in the back now, down to no shields. That information will be passed along. 2 go down, Cycle and Frosty combine. Get a couple of kills. 3 dead now for Complexity, make it 4. Rebellion will start to take control of the map once again.
A and C are going to be in control, so Complexity need to be full sending it to one of them very quickly. It looks like A is going to be the target here, but they've got good angles to Shopify Rebellion, but at the same time, they're in no rush to really take the fight and force a 4v4 engagement. They can start to move around the map and move towards other strongholds instead.
One thing we haven't seen be much of an influence so far is the sniper rifle. Royal 2 had it a little bit in the early game, but there hasn't been much from it since then. So Rebellion have not even needed to really use it. Complexity are in big trouble here in map 1. We spoke about how important this is in this series layout for Complexity to start strong here, and it just hasn't happened thus far.
Maybe take it again. And if Complexity split here, if they try and go for C and A, it could be the end of this game. They really need to be working together to ensure they get one back.
Cycle gets 1, disappears. 2 members of Complexity inside A. They will plant their feet, they will score. 3 members of Shopify Rebellion close in now. I knew good for 1, but that's all again. Cherish tries to stay alive, but A and C now in control. They're running out of time, they're running out of points. Shopify Rebellion closing in on a game 1 victory, and they do secure it. Sometimes it's about gun skill, but there's nuances to it, there's levels to the game. Dan mentions it, positioning, pace, speed, and sometimes just having that clutch factor. Cycle and Royal 2 will open this up, but will be answered back by Cherished and King Nick. So 2v2 on the map right now for just a moment, as King Nick had a little furry grenade hanging out of him, fizzling and sizzling, and he gets taken care of.
Interesting, but it's not as quick of a start as maybe we've seen from Shopify Rebellion. Sometimes their starting strategy absolutely annihilates other teams. Speaking of annihilation, Frosty has been unbelievable this year, and after the team changes that came through, we didn't really know where Frosty was going to end up. But then as soon as this team was formed, you just looked at it on paper and you're like, you know what? I think it could work. And it just breathed new life into Frosty, and it's been incredible to see what he's done this year.
Adapting to life as an IGL as well. Finally getting his hands on that elusive trophy in Salt Lake City. You know they wanted it, they came so close time and time again to finally secure it and lift it, a weight off your shoulders, because the issue that these top teams have, Dan, is winning is an expectation. So when you win, it's like, okay, well that's what we planned for. But when you lose, it's just nothing but sadness and depression.
Yeah, it's been very up and down really for Shopify Rebellion. You think back to Arlington, 2nd place, then Dallas, 4th place, and I think that would have been their worry. When they hit the 4th spot, you think, all right, are they going to be able to bounce back? But then they finish 1st. And it does just change everything. And of course, we had the Pro League as well, the LBT Pro League, where they were able to go on and win that. So technically back-to-back now. And they won the KSAT, like, to start off. So it has been a real roller coaster season.
They have seen success, but the issue is the prestigious tournaments had eluded them. They'd won the online stuff, they'd won the Pro League stuff, and when the major finally gets secured, now all of a sudden you know what it takes to get the job done.
You're always going to want one more. It's the World Championship. That's what they're going to be looking at in Seattle when it comes to the end of this month. Shopify Rebellion will want their names on that trophy, embedded in history in the HCS. But of course, they're going to have Optic Gaming breathing down their necks. But speaking of breathing down necks, Complexity are doing just that to Shopify Rebellion right now. 18-17. It is still a close one here as Camo's about to spawn.
Keeping it nervy, keeping it tense, keeping it tight. That's exactly what Complexity need to do. Little bait and switch. Rebellion trying to secure that camouflage. They've done so, but Frosty's in a bit of a precarious position now. Isolated, goes for the melee. Unfortunately for him, he didn't really need to and almost just reveal his location. But the Slays have gone in their favor, and now Frosty can look to have an influence elsewhere. Cherished and Mental combined to get a couple of kills before one fell. So a 3-kill difference between the two teams, and it's Rebellion in the ascendancy.
You can't allow Frosty to get away with that. You have to be honest. When you've got him down to no shield, and you know he's been picking up that camo, I feel like the team has to be working hard just to make sure that he doesn't get away, because otherwise you get the sniper rifle, and even though in this instance it hasn't really punished them too much, you could see Frosty go on a killing spree, for example, and it changes the game. And it has still ended up that Royal 2 has the sniper rifle, so all these things add up.
The whole time you were saying that after Frosty died, I watched Royal 2 crouch down, wait for his shields to come back, and I just knew the sniper rifle was exactly what he wanted. He just needed to wait until he was healthy enough to go pick it up.
It's like a relay race at the moment with a sniper rifle when everyone on Shopify Rebellion can hit their shots, but now it's the chance for Cherished. Another player I'm a big fan of, and kind of waiting for his big moment, I'd say, on the main stage, whilst he's had some incredible ones over the years. I think taking this Complexity roster and getting out of that rut of top 12 would be big for all 4 of these players.
It wasn't long ago before he was dropped in that TSM roster. And they went on to see a little bit more success, so you know he wants to push this team further. For King Nick, he's really had a great uptick in performance and in form these last few events, maybe even since the start of the season, it must be said. Very impressed with what he's been able to do. But they just need to be able to piece it together in these series, cause the upsets, and push yourself a little bit further than maybe everybody else expects.
And we found the problem with King Nick. He just needed his Ryanu.
Yep.
You take Ryanu away from King Nick and suddenly he turns into a different player. And it sounds silly, but just having that comfort next to you, someone that you're familiar with how they play, chemistry is everything, and King Nick has looked a different player alongside Ryanu once again. But is it going to be enough to overcome this deficit now? Because you are 7 kills behind. Complexity haven't really been able to take control of the map. It's been a bit of a back and forth, and it's another camo going in favor of Rebellion.
Last one didn't have too much of an impact. Frosty wasn't able to get too much going. He didn't really need to, though. That was the issue. They already had an advantage. It was a 3-kill lead at the time. It's only grown since then. And it's almost getting to the point where it's out of control, out of hand for Complexity. And we feared and we worried about the series layout. We spoke about how games 1 and 2 were so important, but Shopify Rebellion putting in a really professional performance.
6 more. You can't really see Shopify throwing this one away, and it's a very professional performance, as you said. I think that Shopify Rebellion are looking like a championship form team yet again. And with only 2 more kills required, Complexity probably starts to put the pads down and think about game 3. Not literally, but they'll think about it.
This one's beyond them. They know that. It's when, not if. The 50 kill will be locked in, and it's going to be by Frosty.
11 works. Well, here we go, game 3. Can we see any sort of fight back from Complexity? Or is this just going to be a dominant, one-sided affair from the side of Shopify Rebellion? That's certainly been the expectation, but there is always the unknown element here in the HCS of anything could happen. We did see a memorable reverse comeback, a reverse sweep from Complexity in Pro League. But can they do it on the big stage?
I was going to suggest this is going to be the final nail in the coffin, but we've already mentioned burials, and I feel like we're being too morbid. That's just how it feels sometimes when you're watching Complexity up against some of these top teams. Cycle rips a face. But it's Complexity with hands on the flag, and they're starting to move it. Cycle's been an irritation in the base, but he's been finally cleared out. We're going to have a little bit of a flag standoff, it would seem, for a moment, but the return's going to come in pretty quickly. They're happy to let this one deteriorate by itself. Flag's going to try and send itself home. Still down in no man's land. Flag goes home then. And it's Shopify Rebellion threatening to push in the first and opening flag here. 2 go down for Complexity, and that means Rebellion open us up here, 1-0.
Such good patience as well from last shot, not over-peaking, not taking too much of a fight, happy to sit back, keep that flag safe, and wait, bide his time, wait for that moment, and then delivers the first one in favor of Shopify Rebellion.
It never felt like that flag was in jeopardy. He was far too comfortable sitting there as long as he was.
And I think ever since that first snipe shot was hit by Cycle, Shopify Rebellion knew they had the advantage. It was just a matter of time. They just had to wait it out. But they didn't try and force anything. They made Complexity make the mistakes instead. And I think that's something that Shopify Rebellion do very well over and over again, is sometimes they find the weaknesses in their opponent and they say, look, we know that they're going to push here and maybe do something a little bit silly. And also, we have the advantage. We don't need to force it. Let's just watch them make the mistake and capitalize.
Sometimes doing nothing is the optimal play. Waiting for your teammates, if your opponents to come close distance. Frosty shooting everything and anything, but just didn't seem to get a kill.
Hurt my ears a little bit. I'm still getting used to it. New gun being added, different carbine sound. Certainly it's good to look at.
It is
Feels
very
good
pretty.
to shoot as well, I will say. But last shot is going to make another attempt at running this flag. King Nick's going to be the first target for Cycle. And he may have just done enough there. It's a distraction to allow last shot to get around the corner.
That's one of those deaths that show up in the feed and you don't think much of it, but actually it's a very, very good death because it's meant a second flag capture for Shopify Rebellion.
Rhino was just about there, but not quite quick enough. And again, it was Cycle just taking a little bit of the attention away from the Complexity roster. Last shot says, thank you very much. I'll just whip round this corner. And it was pretty smooth sailing from that point. Now, with 9 minutes remaining, Shopify Rebellion only need one flag. And this is the situation I said you don't want to be in if you are Complexity. Because Shopify Rebellion now, if they wanted to, they could just control this map, play it out for 8 minutes. But I think we know full well that's not what they're going to do.
You said Rhino was not quite quick enough to get the stop. Do you think it's because of age that his knees just haven't got what they used to?
I don't know, I saw him playing some pickleball and that boy can still move.
He's got the movements. Speaking
Frosty,
of movements,
he's just
Frosty.
taking that same position as Cycle did earlier as well. You're just a real nuisance in this kind of spot. But it's about picking when you get aggressive. As soon as you, again, notice a little bit of weakness, you've done a little bit of damage, it sometimes is your responsibility to start pulling the flag.
It's 2 dead for Complexity. And a lot of players in position to provide covering fire and escort this flag all the way home. A little bit of poke damage being done to Frosty, who's down to half shields, but last shot gets a kill elsewhere. This one has been plain sailing from get-go. Frosty slams in the final flag. It's a clean sweep for Rebellion.